Hey guys, my name is Haley Carden, and I will be talking about Ramadan, which is Muslim fasting. So, the history behind Ramadan, the name directly translates to scorching in Arabic. It is a holy month for Muslims, and it was established as the holy month for Muslims after the Quran was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad. And they don't know exactly what day that was on, but it was in 610 AD on Laylat al-Qadr, which translates to the night of power, and it is said to be within the last 10 days that Ramadan is practiced, but they don't know exactly which day that is. It is mandated directly in the Quran exactly how it should be observed and practiced, and it is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, so it is really important to the Muslims that it is practiced exactly how it should be and exactly how it's laid out in the Quran. So, Ramadan is a holy month of fasting, introspection, and prayer. And those who participate are the followers of Islam, so they are the Muslims. It's supposed to help with their self discipline and allow them time to reflect throughout the month on how they're doing with the 5 pillars of Islam and how they can be better. It is supposed to cleanse the soul of like immoral desires and worldly desires and give them a sense of empathy for the less fortunate, especially those who can't afford food because they do fast for 30 days from dusk until dawn. It is observed on the ninth month of the 12-month Islamic calendar. And so the Islamic calendar is not the same as our calendar. It's actually dictated by the phases of the moon. So Ramadan does have a different date every year. It starts and ends on a different date. And so when it does start and end during the summer months, the dates the days are longer, and so they end up fasting for more hours throughout that Ramadan than they do if it's in the winter months because the days are shorter. The sun is up for a shorter amount of time. And so during the summer months, they end up fasting for about 15 more hours total than they do. So the details of Ramadan, they do fast from dawn until dusk each day. And I actually found it really interesting. Dusk isn't like a specific time. So some people consider dusk to be once they can't see the sun on the horizon anymore, so it's still kind of light outside. But some of them say that dusk is when the very last ray of sunlight has like totally left. So they wait until it's completely dark outside. So I thought that was interesting that they don't have like a specific time or like a specific definition of dusk. But all Muslims who reach puberty and are in good health are required and expected to fast. The exceptions to that are the sick, the elderly, people traveling, pregnant and nursing women, but they are expected to make up for it during the year. So they're expected to pick 30 days out of the year and fast from dawn until dusk, starting as soon as they possibly can. They avoid eating, drinking, sexual activity, unkind or impure thoughts and words, and immoral behavior during their fasts. And some of them choose to read the entire Quran, but some of them don't, so it's just personal preference. It's not required, but a lot of them do go to more prayers and mosques more frequently. So before the sun comes up in the morning, so before dawn, they have a pre-dawn meal, which is called a sahur, and it is not specified exactly what they have to eat, so it's basically up to them. At the end of the day, they eat a meal called the iftar, and the tradition is that the first thing they eat at the end of the day is a date, and then after that, they get together with relatives and friends, and they all eat a huge meal together and have kind of a celebration. And then at the very end of Ramadan, at the conclusion, they have a celebration called an Eid al-Fitr, which is the feast of fast breaking, and it lasts for 3 days, and they exchange gifts, and they get together with all their relatives and friends, and they just eat a lot of food, and they have a really big celebration. So the impacts that Ramadan has on daily life during the time are, if it's a Muslim majority area, they do have a really big month of inflation, and so a cup of tea will cost 6 to 7 times more than it would if it wasn't Ramadan. Also, they spend more money on clothes and food. And I thought it was interesting that they spent more money on food, but then I was reading more about it, and they do eat a lot richer food at the end of their fast. And so they do spend a lot more money on food. More money is also given to charities, and wealthy families will oftentimes give poor families Ramadan bags. And so they're filled with basic cooking essentials so that at the end of their fast for the day, they have something to eat. And I thought that was really cool. So that's all about Ramadan. Hopefully you enjoyed this presentation.